you like, okay, this is really cool, right? This is amazing. And then when it actually happens, it's kind of like you're in shock a little bit. Definitely felt like almost emotional. It's hard to do, you know? And so it just was like, man, I was trying to take a second to just, hey, Kelsey, like, good job.
Imagine a crowded arena with spectators on their feet and history being made. Kelsey Plum's the first women's basketball player to achieve this award. Jersey climbs to the rafters at the University of Washington. The atmosphere is electrifying, with NBA players praising her and former colleagues crying with happiness. It's a moment Plum will never forget.
You showed us what greatness looks like. You allowed us to follow you throughout your extraordinary career, and today we made and forever.
I never really thought about it in the sense of like the jersey being hung and the records and things like that. I just wanted to be the best I could be, you know, and just trying to like push that limit. And then I look back now and it's really cool to have a full circle moment, look back and just say, man, like, dang, that is a lot of points. I never really thought about it like that, you know?
Now change course in a different region of the nation. We'll talk about Asia's response shortly. How did two WNBA stars end up with such different celebrations? Asia Wilson scrolls through her phone, scowling at the lack of buzz surrounding her own jersey retirement in February. Tickets are less than the cost of a pizza, and the event isn't even close to selling out. The response may surprise you, and it has everyone discussing women's basketball's future. Are you prepared to take a look?
It's that time. Call this.
You guys, everyone wants me to cry today. No way. Oh.
You know what's crazy? The entire basketball world is giddy about Kelsey Plum's recent historic performance at Alaska Airlines Arena, which is crowded with over 10,000 spectators. The atmosphere is electrifying, as if everyone is aware that something extraordinary is about to happen.
Plum.
Between setting a scoring record and being the first woman to have her jersey retired in the rafters, Kelsey Plum is setting the precedent for the Huskies women's basketball team.
I think if anything, it just shows, like if you're a women's basketball player wanting to play in college and you watch today, it's like, this is what support is and what it looks like, right? Having a sellout crowd come back and acknowledge someone that played here. So it's possible to do, right? And I just think that a lot of times, sometimes you have to see it to know, like, hey, wait a second, like, there's a big fan base here, you know?
Let's go back a little. Plum's time in college was legendary. We're talking about NCAA scoring records that persisted until Caitlin Clark entered the scene. This lady scored 3,527 points while attending Washington, which is not just good, it breaks the scoreboard.
With the first pick, WNBA Plum, just like that. Wow, Kelsey Plum, my goodness. Plum, Kelsey Plum. Oh, Kelsey with two more. And there it is. Ladies and gents, you are looking at the #1 scorer in women's D1 college basketball, Kelsey Plum.
In addition to being a prolific scorer, Plum was also a master of free throws, setting a record with 912 successful attempts from the line. In her senior year, she went all supernova, scoring 119 points in a single season, the type of performance that makes basketball purists cry with happiness.
Forever 10 honors the exceptional journey of Kelsey Plum, whose impact extends far beyond the University of Washington, from becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer to leading the Huskies to national prominence. Her number 10 jersey symbolizes greatness. Off the court, while at UW, Kelsey earned a degree in anthropology from the College of Arts and Sciences. On court, Kelsey was named the 2017 AP and Naismith Player of the Year. She was a 2-time All-American. She was a 4-time All-Pac-12. She held all-time scoring leader record from 2017 to 2024.
The audience becomes silent at halftime as all eyes are on the number 10 jersey, which is a symbol of everything Plum accomplished and everything she stands for in women's basketball. Now, U is honoring her in a way they have never done for any other women's basketball player.
She is UW's all-time three-point leader and second all-time in Pac-12 history, and she broke the 33-year-old NCAA career free throw record with 912 points. She was the #1 draft pick for the WNBA in 2017.
This goes beyond Plum's numbers. It also highlights her influence on the program. For example, Plum led the charge as Washington advanced to their first-ever Final Four in 2016. She did more than simply establish records. She made you women's basketball famous.
Kelsey's legacy didn't stop after the UW. She has gone on to become a two-time WNBA champion, three-time WNBA All-Star and All-Star MVP in 2022, FIBA gold medalist, and two-time Olympic gold medalist. This jersey retirement celebrates a career that continues to shine, immortalizing her achievements as part of Husky history forever.
Plum's appearing sincere as they take it all in. I feel so fortunate to be able to spend this time with my family since life goes by so quickly. It seems like just 2 weeks ago that I was a senior here. Ely moving it just brings up so many memories. She adds in a voice that combines nostalgia and amazement.
One word to describe Kelsey Plum is fierce.
She was a leader right from the get-go.
Ability to laser focus.
She's a winner.
What truly sets Kelsey apart is her character.
Kelsey's work ethic is second to none.
She has that it factor.
Kelsey Plum is a dog.
In high school, Kelsey made a name for herself as one of the most talented, hardworking players in the country.
She was different from even the day she stepped on campus.
Straight from the airport, first day on campus was right to the gym.
What I appreciate most about Kelsey is her work ethic, and there is not a single person in any sport that I've ever covered that has outworked Kelsey Plum.
It seems like the whole basketball community has come together to tell Kelsey that she is one of the greats as the arena bursts with messages from Plum's Las Vegas Aces colleagues, her former Husky squad, and her family during timeouts.
I was here in the gym. She was always on the other side getting the same amount of work in.
You hear people, being in the gym before, after practice. That was her every single day.
First one's here, last one's to leave. Kelsey literally never left.
Every single drill that we did was competitive because of her.
It was her. That was her drive, her focus, and her desire. And I think that's what makes her who she is.
She had laser focus for what she wanted to do, and she was going to do it, and no one was going to stop her from doing it.
We're thrilled to see Kelsey Plum up in the rafters. She's recognized for her extraordinary work ethic and is an amazing person. It's W's current head coach, Tina Langley Beams. What a fantastic day to commemorate history.
Just the fact that she's hanging her jersey there in Heck Ed, shows a different side of her. Not just the talent, but the competitive side and the desire to sacrifice. I just don't think many people, and I'm not saying kids, I'm not saying players, I'm just saying people in general. I don't think people have that in them.
There is so much that Kelsey has accomplished throughout her career. She's truly one of the best to play the game, and she played at Washington. Her impact will last forever. And that's why we're hanging her number in the rafters today, so that we will never forget the player and the person that she is.
You can't help but think that this is what happens when hard effort pays off as the audience cheers, and it's really amazing. Plum's retirement from the jersey is significant for women's basketball as a whole, not just for her personally.
Kelsey, I've said these words to you many times. You made me a better coach. Had you not been a part of what we were doing, I wouldn't have got a chance to live out my dream.
Welcome to the club of jersey retirements. Congratulations. It's well-deserved, and keep going and keep striving for greatness.
Hold on, people. While everyone is celebrating Kelsey Plum's jersey retirement, there is some major drama going on behind the scenes. You know how they say that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but this time, let's be honest for a moment. The Las Vegas Aces gave Kelsey Plum a core designation, and trade speculations are circulating more quickly than a Plum three-pointer, making her future with the club appear more precarious than a house of cards in a wind tunnel.
Based on multiple conversations that I've had, it does seem like the most likely scenario is that Kelsey Plum would move on from the Aces.
My basketball mind, though, is still having a hard time wrapping my head around Kelsey leaving and going to an org like the Valkyries.
But here's the thing. It goes beyond basketball. Plum's feeling like the family's forgotten middle kid. It seems like high school again, but with million-dollar contracts and championship rings. Asia Wilson and coach Becky Hampton are taking center stage.
What's been a little surprising, and I think why there's so much conversation, at least from what I'm seeing, about Kelsey Plum is that during the season when the rest of the core aces, the other, they're the core four, Asia, Chelsea, Jackie Young, and Kelsey Plum. So when her other three, counterparts, they signed extensions, she did not.
You may be wondering why Plum would want to quit a championship squad, but sometimes it's not about the gear. Rather, it's about feeling noticed, acknowledged, and appreciated. At the moment, Plum feels more invisible than a referee's whistle during a crucial moment.
Mentioned that she did not sign an extension, and former general manager Natalie Williams told me before she and the Aces parted ways that, Kelsey was offered an extension and declined.
But hold on, there's more. The Golden State Valkyries have been acting in some intriguing ways recently, and believe me when I say that they're not merely moving deck chairs on the Titanic. These people are serious about their job.
What I do think is interesting is that there is a team that will be coming to the league this year, the Golden State Valkyries, and a part of me just kind of feels like that might be a fresh start for Kelsey Plum if she does decide that she wants to move on from the Aces. To me, it gives them an opportunity to have a great perimeter scorer, which we know that Kelsey Plum is, but it also will add a little bit of familiarity for her because the new head coach was the former assistant coach in Las Vegas, and I think that that could also be something that plays well where you're getting a new environment and you're getting a new experience, but you're also still working with someone who knows you and knows you well, so you get a bit of the best of both worlds.
Imagine this. Kelsey Plum, the undeniable leader of the Bay Area women's basketball scene, is no longer playing second fiddle or living in anyone's shadow. It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I definitely would not rule that out. Something that really stands out to me is that, Kelsey is a Southern California native, and San Francisco is, it's within the state. California is a large state, but it's still within the state. And I think that stands out. To me, that's like the most intriguing destination for Kelsey. I totally understand the fit. You mentioned like perimeter scoring for the Valkyries, and they'll absolutely need that. But I think also she brings like this, veteran championship mentality that Natalie Nakaze has emphasized that she wants to cultivate in the Golden State. And so to me, that would just be knock out of the park. And they have the room to do it. They're just building their roster. Cap space is not going to be a problem. So that stands out to me, definitely.
There is no such an as a Valkyrie coincidence in the WNBA, but this is where it gets very interesting. During her jersey retirement ceremony, her old Aces teammate Kate Martin was gushing her praises and asking where she was playing.
She and Natalie were really close. Like, I remember the first conversation I had with Natalie Nakaze, she was telling me that she spent the whole offseason doing Pilates with Kelsey Plum because Kelsey had roped her into it. And they were waking up at like 6 a.m. together to go to these Pilates sessions. And I remember telling Natalie, like, that is something I would never do. I could never like wake up that early. And she was like, well, you should consider it. Kelsey has like changed my life by us doing that. And that's like something, a small thing. It doesn't really go into any reporting or anything, but their relationship seems to be really strong. And so, I wouldn't be surprised with.
Naturally, Plums kept her cards close to her breast. During the ceremony, when questioned about her free agency status, she graciously declined to comment and discussed a plot twist. Here's the problem, though. Plum's at a crossroads. Should she move to the Valkyries, where she might be the franchise player and the ball is in her court now, or stay with the Aces, where she has won titles but feels underappreciated?
I just have a very hard time imagining the Las Vegas Aces without that core four. They were all drafted there, right? They were all drafted there. And so, look, as a Warriors fan, losing Klay Thompson, I can sort of relate to this, but that would be quite a blow for a team like Vegas. They came up together, they won 2 championships together.
You know what's crazy is that even the biggest celebrities can get caught up in their own shadows. Take Asia Wilson's retirement from the University of South Carolina, for example. You would think it would be a simple celebration, but hold on to your jerseys, people, because this tale has more twists than a pretzel factory.
Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, obviously. But, like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And that's a compliment.
Let's establish the scenario. In October 2024, South Carolina finally makes the decision to retire Asia Wilson's number 22. This is fantastic news, but didn't we all assume that this had already happened years ago? The woman has a statue outside the arena, but the really interesting part is that they're doing it on the same day as Caitlin Clark retires her jersey at Iowa. It's a coincidence that's about as likely as finding a unicorn in your backyard.
Also, it's Asia Wilson's retirement jersey day, right? And, well, her prices for her game are high.
Fans should be lining up around the block for tickets. But guess what? They're still available, and they're only $16. That must hurt more than a missed free throw in the closing seconds. Additionally, even though Clark's ceremony is scheduled to air on national television, Wilson's retirement isn't planned. And then there's the Clark factor, which announces Wilson's retirement. At this point, when everyone is focused on Iowa's Golden Girl, it feels a little like showing up at someone else's party without realizing you're there. Heads turning.
Asia Wilson, the cornerstone of South Carolina's rise to prominence, will see her number 22 jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena when the Gamecocks face Auburn. A lot of people are pissed that this is the second day, or the same day. Now, I say a lot of people, Asia Wilson fans are pissed that it's the same day.
Here's the twist, though. During finals week, Wilson herself has been more silent than a library about the entire situation. No enthusiastic Instagram postings or tweets. She seems unsure of whether to shrug or celebrate. And is it your fault?
As far as I can tell, Caitlin Clark fans don't give a rip about Asia Wilson's jersey retirement.
As the big day draws near, you have to ask yourself if this is a case of too little, too late for South Carolina, or if it's a sign of something deeper. Whatever the reason, the contrast is striking. It's like comparing a blockbuster movie premiere to a straight-to-DVD release. What's crazy is that sometimes the joy surrounding a player is so intense that even their future jersey retirement breaks records, which is exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark right now while everyone is still talking about Kelsey Plum's big moment. Clark will shortly receive his award.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
Fitting on Logo 3. Let's hear it one more time for number 22, David Woo!
People, keep in mind that February 2nd, 2025, is the day that Iowa will formally immortalize Clark's number 22 in the Carver Hawkeye Arena's rafters. However, the fans aren't waiting to be excited. They're already going crazy, and the ticket prices are completely insane.
However, in Iowa City, the retirement of Caitlin Clark's number 22 jersey at Carver Hawkeye Arena during Iowa's game against USC is shaping up to be a much bigger spectacle. And of course, this was a tweet that went out talking about $200 to $784 with a bunch of tickets listed over 1,000.
Let's take a moment to discuss the numbers. When the announcement was first made, the cheapest seat in the house was going for $200, which is pretty steep. But hold on to your hats because in just 40 minutes, yes, you heard correctly, that price shot up to $784. Now, some tickets are listed for over $1,000, but wait, there's more. If you're okay with standing room only, that will set you back a cool $300. However, this isn't just any old game. They're attaching Clark's big moment to Iowa, which means we get to watch Clark's legacy celebrated while Juju Watkins, the next big thing in women's basketball, is on the court.
We're taking on USC and Juju Watkins, nationally televised game, I believe. February 2nd, 2-2, so it's 22. Everything about it lined.
Now, let's take a moment to be honest. The planning for this retirement ceremony has been ongoing for some time. Before the ink was even dry on her WNBA draft card, Beth Gutz, the director of athletics for Iowa, made the announcement immediately following Clark's final collegiate game. Gutz didn't hold back either, stating that Caitlin Clark has not only redefined excellence on the court, but has also motivated innumerable young athletes to pursue their goals with zeal and tenacity.
You will be the last to wear number 22, and you will become the third Hawkeye women's basketball player in history to have her number retired.
And that is what Beth Getz had to say back in April as the Hawks wrapped up their second straight national runner-up season.
However, this is where things start to become truly intriguing. Although this isn't just about honoring Clark, it's a brilliant marketing move that they've set up perfectly. Some Eagly fans swear they've already seen an unveiled jersey hanging in the rafters months ago. It's as if Iowa couldn't even wait for the official ceremony. They just had to get that jersey up there, covered or not. Covered on national television, a high-profile bout against a rising talent, and a way to maintain the Clark buzz even after she's entered the professional ranks.
something I'm very thankful for, and obviously I've had some amazing teammates over the course of my 4 years here, and there's been a lot of really good 22s to come before me and play for this program, whether it's Kathleen Doyle or Sam Logic, so that number holds a lot of weight, far beyond my name, and I guess I'm just really grateful, and it'll be a special day.
When it comes to Caitlin Clark, everything is bigger than life. Her college career broke records, her draft was a media frenzy, and now her jersey retirement is turning into a big-time event. And even though you thought it couldn't get any bigger, the numbers rolled in. Clark's jersey retirement is like the hottest concert ticket in town. Secondary market tickets start at a whopping $711 just to get in the door, and those premium seats we're talking about over $8,000.
But that is a supply and demand thing, especially in today's day and age where there's no such thing as a sellout, right? Where you can go to any event you want as long as you're willing to pay for it because of the secondary ticket market.
Now reverse that picture to reflect A'ja Wilson's retirement from Jersey on the same day. Tickets for Different World are available for as little as $16, yet they're still not sold out. It's like comparing an open mic night at your coffee shop to an arena performance that sells out. Social media. With almost 300,000 impressions in less time than you can say viral, Buzz Clark's statement hardly registered on anyone's radar.
And South Carolina waited years and years to retire A'ja's jersey.
To be honest for a moment, these statistics depict two very different legacies. IOW was anticipating a packed house for Clark, maybe even adding more seats, while South Carolina is trying to at least fill the lower bowl for Wilson. Even non-basketball fans are familiar with Clark Wilson, a cultural phenomenon, despite her incredible playing career and trophy collection, which would make most players imagine working your entire life to be the best, winning championships and MVP honors, and no one caring. That must sting. Green with Envy isn't receiving the same affection. You have to wonder how this sits with A'ja.
And we'll get to compare the ratings, because I would assume that game against Auburn will be televised somewhere. Now, whether or not it's nationally televised, like I think the Iowa game's going to end up being, I don't know. But look, when it comes to tickets, it's a supply and a demand issue. It's that simple. It's a good way to gauge one's popularity.
The court of public opinion is in full swing and isn't holding back when it comes to fan reactions, and we're witnessing a clear split on Caitlin Clark's side. Fans are praising her like she's basketball royalty, and one fan even declared, "Now tell me who the face of the league is." Clark's star power is shining bright, and her supporters are making sure everyone knows it, but for A'ja Wilson, the responses are far from positive. Some fans are baffled by what's happening, and one tweet stated that A'ja thought her jersey was already retired, which is unfortunate. The timing of these jersey retirements is creating a lot of controversy, and one irate fan wasn't holding back when she asked why you guys would retire her jersey on the same day as AA. That's what I call a hot take, but it's not all bad news for Wilson. Some devoted supporters are standing up for her, denouncing what they perceive to be disrespect, and claiming that both athletes merit their time in the limelight.
The greatest women's player there ever was? Maybe it's debatable, but at the very least, she'll be in that debate forever. Her now famous Hawkeye jersey was 2 twos, but she was one of one.
Meanwhile, there are issues with Wilson's ceremony. Some supporters are wondering why South Carolina waited so long to retire her jersey. One remark questioned why it took SC 10 years to retire A's number. These occurrences stand in stark contrast to one another. The retirement of Clark's jersey is seen as a significant turning point in the history of women's basketball. In the realm of women's basketball, Wilson's is kind of getting lost in the mix. The supporters have spoken, and they aren't launching any attacks. Let's face it, people, the women's basketball scene is evolving more quickly than A'ja Wilson can say, "Where's my spotlight?" The college jersey worn by Kelsey Plum just retired in front of an Arena K that was sold out. Wilson's difficulties filling seats are making Clark's jersey retirement a national spectacle. This is a whole change in the game's landscape, not only concerning jersey hangings. In women's basketball, Clark's quick ascent is changing what it means to be a star, whether you play for Plum, Clark, or Wilson. This moment surpasses all of them. Do you agree that a sport is finally receiving the recognition it merits? If so, please let us know in the comments, subscribe, and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one once you click the video on the screen.